Friends, welcome to 20 Fingers 2 Brains. This is part 10 of online shopping cart project. In our previous video, in part 9, we have discussed about the design of products, categories, empty cart and order placed successfully panels. So in this video, we are going to discuss the design for my cart and checkout form. So let's open the project. In previous video, we discussed PNL products and PNL categories. This time, we are going to discuss PNL my cart and PNL checkout. So this panel products PNL My Card contains a table. The scroll bars is set as auto. Height we have given some border color. Width and the visibility is initially set as false because on page load we usually display the products and the categories. This PNL My Card and checkout form are displayed only when the user clicks on the shopping cart. When the user clicks on the shopping cart, at that time only my cart and the customer details are visible. So here we have a my cart. Inside that we have a table. This table contains three TRs, table rows. The last two TRs are empty. We have just kept it empty. You can remove it if you want. The first TR contains a data list. The data list is used for binding the products which are added to cart by the user. And here we also have a label to alert the user, like suppose the user enters the product as 10 and the available stock is 5. So at that time we will be alerting the user about the available stock alert, like the products are out of stock, please enter a less value. So that alert we are going to display in LBL, available stock alert. The next part is the data list, like discussed in previous video. Discussed in previous videos. Here we have the data list. It is DL cart products. Similar way, edit template. It's similar to what we have discussed in the for DL products. Here we have the product name, the image, available stock, the price, and to include the quantity we have TXT product quantity. We have added a text box over here, and we have a hidden field to identify for which product the user is entering the quantity or which product the user is removing from the cart. And here we have a remove from cart button. So inside the item template we have the data list. For the repeat column we have set as 3. We have set some font bold equal to false. These are some properties which are used for design purpose. Inside the item template we have a div which is aligned to left. Then inside that again we have a table. The first TR contains the product name. The text is name as eval. The eval function contains the name. This name is similar to the product name column of the products table. The next contains the image URL. The image URL is same as the product table. Then again we have the available stock. Available stock we are calculating using a stored procedure that we will discuss during when we discuss the coding part. Then we have the price. The eval function contains the price. The price is being displayed from the products table price column. Then we have the txt product quantity. Then for this we have set auto post back equal to true, and the text contains the product quantity and the value contains again we have a hidden field. In that hidden field we are setting the product ID so that the user can come to know which product is being removed or for which the quantity is being changed. For this txt product quantity, right click on this text box, properties. In the events, we have a text change because user can change the number of products he want to add to cart for that particular product, the quantity, the items, number of items he want to purchase. So we are uh, changing we are changing the total price and the total products using this text change product. So here we have this txt product quantity text change. All this coding we will discuss in the upcoming videos. Then we have the last tr of this table, which is a button, and this button is having a btn remove from cart click, and the command argument contains the product id, which is again the primary key of the products table, and the causes validation is set to false because we don't want any validation to be fired when the user removes the product from the cart. So this was pretty much similar to the PNL products which we discussed earlier in our earlier video. The item style is set as 33%. So the design is quite simple. My cart is done. Now let's move to the PNL checkout. The checkout form contains label, name, phone number, email ID, address, total products, total price, payment method. Then we have a radio button and the place order. And few validation, like if the user doesn't enter the name, phone number, email ID, address, then these validations are fired. So let's discuss this design. The PNL checkout is displayed just below the PNL categories. Here inside this panel, we have a table. The width is set as 258 pixel. Then the first tr contains the name, the second tr contains text box, txt customer name, and a required field validator which is associated to txt customer phone number. Oh, actually this should be here. Customer name, and here it should be customer phone number. Okay, so we have the text box, txt customer name with some width. Then this is a required field, this is a mandatory field, so we are using a required field validator, and the control to validate is txt customer name. Then we have the phone number. The text box is txt customer phone number with some width, and the maximum length we have set as 10 because usually we have a 10-digit phone number. And the required field validator control to validate is txt customer phone number. The error message displayed is start, the for color is red for all the required field validators. The next one is email id. Then we have the txt customer email id, the control to validate is customer txt customer email id. And then we have the address. For address we are using a multi-line text box, so for the text box we have set the text mode as multi-line. We have some width and height, and the control to validate is txt customer address. Then we have a text box total product, txt total product. It is read only because the number of products are automatically calculated from code, and so it is read only. The total price, we have txt total price, control to validate is txt total price. This id is like required field validator 6 5. This id doesn't matter, it can be anything. Then we have a radio button list. We have two items in it, value 1 and value 2. The selected, the cash on delivery is selected, and the payment gateway is another. Now we will discuss, will be we will be updating a new video series on how to integrate a payment gateway in the website, and that will be done after this coding is done. At the end we have a button, btn place order, and on click of this event we have btn order click. We have set some text, font, width and height, these are normal. And to validate the email id, we are using a regular expression validator, and that validator will validate whether the email id format for the like we generally have an email id format, that email id format is valid or not. Like for example, if I enter name is correct, we can also do some validation for phone number if user is not entering uh, numbers only, but that we can skip right now. email ID, suppose this is the email ID, so please enter valid email ID. This message is displayed from the regular expression validator. So the email ID format, like some name at the rate, then some provider name, this should be valid, then only it's taken from the. So this regular expression validator for email, you can select it, then properties, or else what you can do is you can select the txt customer email ID, select the regular expression validator. This regular expression validator you can get it from toolbox. In toolbox we have a section validation. In here we have the range validator, required field. So in this form we have used only two: required field validator and regular expression validator. The regular expression validator we have only used for validating the email ID. So you can drag and drop it here. Then when you drag and drop, the validation expression will not be there. So you have to enter the validation expression and the control to validate. The validation expression you can get it like from here. Here we have the internet email address. So you can write, select this, go to properties, then we have the validation expression. Here we have validation expression for almost everything, like phone number, postal code, internet URL, Japanese phone number, like this. So here we have to select internet email ID and press on OK. So this regular expression will validate the email ID. So this was pretty much clear about PNL checkout and PNL MyCart. So as far as the design of this default.aspx is concerned, we have discussed the design of this PNL products, categories, then products in your shopping cart, this shopping cart, and the customer details. Now in the next part we are going to see how we are getting these categories from database and binding it here, and also how we are getting the products and binding all the products on the home page. So this was part 10 of online shopping cart, where we have discussed about the my cart and checkout form. You can visit our blog 20fingers2brains.blogspot.com. Also you can subscribe our channel 20fingers, youtube.com/20fingers2brains. And if you have any queries or you are not able to understand any part of this video, feel free to comment. We will get back to you with the solution. Thank you for watching this video.